Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Look, man, I ain't falling for no banana in my tailpipe.
Tim Black. Tim Black. Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Hey, we are getting ready. Do I hear feedback going on here?
Tim Black. Yes, I am. True. Funny. Tim Black. I am TimBlack.com.
Why do I have feedback going on this thing? Testing. Why are you acting crazy? Maybe it's just too loud. Maybe it's just too loud, man. Maybe it's too loud. Is that Geoff? I hear you, brother.
Okay, cool. Let me see if I can. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, they can hear you too, but they can't see you yet.
Oh shit! I think my headphones are messed up because I can't hear you.
Oh, you cannot hear me.
Let me try to.
Well, let me do a test and see if they can hear me on YouTube. Hey guys, can you hear me? They say they can hear me, but they cannot hear the music.
All right, give me a second.
It stopped running. Now can you guys hear it? I didn't have the music running. They hear the doorbell. Oh, they heard you, Geoff. They heard your doorbell into the system, so take your time, bro. And we see you, Geoff. Well, we see your Bernie plaque. All right. Okay, this is not actually no sellout, so bam, that's gone. Uh-oh, that's gone away. Well, you know what? I like that. I like the background. Let's just do this. How about this? There we put that way up there. Hey, what up, people? How you doing? I might have to reset some system stuff or whatever. Yeah. Okay, hell yeah. Right. We in the house. My people. Let me make sure we're all good to go on system settings. I want to say hello to my people. Let me start off with my YouTube people, man. What's up, YouTube? How you doing? Give it up for that. I got a weird echo thing happening right now. Kind of weird. All right. And let me say what's up to my people on, let's go with Facebook. Give it up for Facebook. This thing is giving me feedback galore over here. It must be my sound volume. Facebook people in the house, how you doing? And last but not least, let's give it up for my people out there in Periscope. I always want to say Twitter, but it's actually Periscope. Right? Same money, same company. Can you hear me, G?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, man, brother. Perfect. Hey, guys, how you doing? Like, this guy, he's a regular. We know this guy. It's my man, Geoff Campbell, man, known as Miami Gator Miami, the man from Miami, man. He's an activist. He's outspoken. He's a big-time Tim Canova supporter, and he's a fighter of the power. He fights the power in Florida, man. And I wanted to bring him on because this guy's been putting out so much stuff about Florida, about Debbie Wasserman Schultz, about the Sun Sentinel, and man, I need to be educated, and maybe you do as well. So give it up for my man, Geoff.
Hey, everybody. How's it going?
You know it, brother. How you feeling, man?
Pretty good. For having being next to Debbie herself last night.
Dude.
Within 5 feet of her.
Dude, she didn't have her guards like jump you or nothing. Like nobody rushed you.
They were staring me down.
Oh, yeah.
They were staring. Debbie herself gave me a pretty mean look and called me out for doing journalism, as she called it. She's like, "You've reported on this before. How dare somebody report on what I say?"
Well, look, consider that an accolade, man. That's right. That's what you call accolades for being a truth teller. You know, when you hit the radar, yeah, man, you hit the radar big time, G, man. Be safe. But yeah, don't let me interrupt, man. What's up, man? So then what happened?
So last night she had, I guess it was a Pembroke Pines Democratic meeting. So she was going to give a little speech, and she did. She talked about the monuments and how we need to get rid of the monuments, and she talked about how bad Trump was, but she really didn't talk at all about any policy or anything the Democrats are really looking to do to bring people back to the party. And then out of nowhere, when it got to question and answer, she tried to run the clock out a lot, where she just rambles on and about like nonsense. And finally, there was a Tim Canova supporter in the room. I actually know him. His name's Joe Krebs.
Okay.
He asked, everyone was getting their time to ask questions. So he just said, after one of the last people had finished speaking and she had answered, he put his hand up and he's like, "Can I ask a question?" And Debbie just was like, "No." And like if you watch the video, which I posted, you just see her hand, no. So then it got really weird in the room, because he's like, "Why can't I ask a question?" And, then she's just like, "No, I won't answer. I won't let you ask a question." And then other people in the room started being like, why can't this man just let him just ask a question at this point? It's been like 5 minutes of you two going back and forth of saying, "No, you can't ask a question." It was insanity,
man.
And it was more of Debbie. She just knew he was a Tim Canova supporter, so she didn't want him to possibly ask something that she may have trouble answering.
Mm-hmm.
And he finally got to it, and she asked the question, and it was a little bit of a roundabout way. He just basically wanted to know if she supports single-payer healthcare and how she's doing with environmental causes, etc. And that's when we got her right on the spot, and she started to backtrack and let's stay inside of the Affordable Care. And so we're like, but what? No, actually, first she said, which to everybody's surprise, she actually said she is for getting dark money out of politics and for single-payer healthcare for all.
Wow. She actually said that, man.
She said that, and then backtracked into how we need to stay within the affordable, and if it was possible. So we then just said, "Oh, you support it, but will you co-sponsor?" I shouted out, "Will you co-sponsor?" Then somebody else next to me, another activist named Phil, also asked, "Will you co-sponsor?" And then finally she stared right dead at us almost like a demon, and said, "No, I'm not going to. I'm not. You've recorded me saying this before. I'm not co-sponsoring." So as she's saying that she is for it, she says she will not co-sponsor.
Dude, like, the people that don't understand what that means, like, let me take a stab at it. This is what I think it means, and it's just a layman's way. That means you don't really support it in my book. If you won't put your name on it, you won't help form the legislation. You're not formally for it then. You're really privately for it. Like, that sounds like Hillary Clintonism.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like her donors are not for it, for me, in my opinion, because we know she's taken hundreds of thousands from the insurance and health industries. It doesn't really make sense. Joe, the activist who asked her the question, she kept refusing, her own constituent. He was pointing out that Ted Deutsch, who's in the district right next to hers, who she does events with constantly, dual events with, he co-sponsored. So when we brought that to her attention, she just pushed right past that, didn't even give it any look, no flinching. She just kept going, we'll never be able to pass it, so there's no reason for me to support it.
Goodness gracious. It sends a message. It sends a message to the world and to particularly to Floridians, what your issues are, what your concerns are, what your priorities are. That's just bullshit, guys. Guys, give it up for bullshit. Come on, man. That's what people put you in power. That you represent them, and they want to know what you're about. What do you represent? As representing us, what do you represent? Obviously, co-sponsoring something is important. That you're putting your name on it, man. Come on, guys. I wonder if there's anybody. Did you see? Okay, so describe the room. Were there a lot of Debbie Wasserman supporters there, or was it just a bunch of activists? What was it? Was it mixed?
Okay, so the room seemed like it was a Pembroke Pines Democratic club, so there was probably the regulars. It was a lot. It was not many millennials. In fact, the only millennials that were in the room were either activists or people that I knew that I invited to come with me that I'm trying to get activated. I actually ran into a Trump supporter there. I was shocked. I thought she was a woman in her middle age, and then she just looked like she was any Debbie supporter. Didn't even make quite a ruckus. And then out of nowhere at the end, she's like, "You should have given her more hell. I'm a Trump supporter." And we were like, "Whoa, okay, you were quiet."
Because Pembroke or Pembroke Pines, I know that that area went very heavily for Clinton, right?
It's a very heavy Hillary Clinton, and it has a little bit of an older population. It's the core of Debbie's district. There were a lot of, it was all people probably, I'd say, above 50.
Like I've never met Debbie before, Miss Wasserman shows before, but she sounds like somebody who's not that savvy a politician. I mean, if you're on your home field, your home turf, so to speak, and you got a dissenting voice in the crowd, why waste 5 minutes arguing with giving them an opportunity to ask a question when you could just pretty much BS your way through it? Now you just focus all this attention on this guy who you're here with your people, man. It's like you're playing a home game and you're worried about this guy taking a free throw shot. Man, let him take the free throw shot, sweep it under the rug and lie like you usually do, and keep it moving. But that shows the stubbornness of this woman. Like some people, like they don't get it with Debbie. Like everything I've learned about her, and Geoff, and of course you know her better than I do, man. You're like one of the most formidable people on understanding Florida politics and understanding Debbie Wasserman Schultz and understanding Tim Canova's campaign and what he stands for, what the platform is. But I tell you, man, everything about it just seems like stubborn, bullheaded, sort of a bully establishment to the core, and doesn't care. Is very hawkish. Like she won't give you an inch, even if the inch helps her. Like one of those type of people. It's just weird, dude. So okay, he asked a question, man. She BS'd. No, but actually, I'm kind of shocked.
It took like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
I mean, he was going back and forth. He's like, why can't I ask a question? And Debbie's actually, she even broke a smile because it got so awkward and weird that he couldn't just ask a question. People were like, ask. I was yelling, ask already. Just ask it. Even if she's not going to answer it, just ask the damn question. It got so funny that even her supporters were looking around like, why is this even happening? Just answer the damn question. Like how you're saying, it's her home field. What could he possibly say? If it's that outrageous, everybody would just boo him out of the room.
The pressure's on him. Pressure's on him at that point because it's like, this better be a good question because you're really fighting to ask this question. It better not be something silly like, what day is it, or some some asinine question that's already been answered earlier. So go ahead, Geoff. So I'm actually kind of stuck where she says she's for it, but she's against it. But you guys take note of that, man. Rewind this video later because she actually said that.
Yeah.
So then what happened, Geoff?
So she said, when he asked her, are you for those things? She said, yes, I fought for those for the last 25 years. I'm for, she didn't reiterate and say I'm for getting dark money out of politics, but she did say she is for healthcare for all. And she believes healthcare is a right, or the access. Then she dropped the famous access to healthcare is a human right. And then when we asked her, we pushed her further because she just kept mumbling and babbling on and giving double speak. We just said, will you co-sponsor? That's what he should have asked. straight up. I mean, don't give her any leeway. That's the problem. Most people, when you ask Debbie Wasserman Schultz, someone like that, a politician who's going to find any window they can to crawl out of, if you're going to give them a tough question, you got to be straight up direct. Will you co-sponsor HR 676 or whatever the case may be? Any other leeway, she's going to just babble on for 5 minutes and then say, oh, time's up. I got to get going.
Right.
They really did. They tried to do that when during that whole little interaction, that somebody on her team like put their purse on and was like, maybe like tapping on their wrist. Of course, she's got to get out of there at that point. But yeah, she just kept mumbling on. And then when we forced her and asked, will you co-sponsor? Then the answer was no, she will not co-sponsor. She didn't really give much of an answer other than the same old garbage that we need to work within the ACA, and that the Republicans will never support it. And our opinion is, if you're, a leader,
Mm-hmm.
if you're a congressperson, shouldn't you fight even if you're going to lose?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
when the whole rest of the Democrats in the House practically are supporting it. Even her buddy next door in the next district's supporting it. It doesn't make sense. Well, unless you look at where the money's coming from. Look, Geoff, let's break down for some people, man, because I know they may not understand what dark money is. How do you define dark money? What is that about? Dark money would be the money that's coming into these super PACs where you're not quite sure where it's coming from. There's these like large chunks going in. It's usually from some major mega donor who's bundling up a bunch of different supporters, and even maybe donating for his wife, his cousin, his uncle, his brother, every single person he can find, bundling those funds and donating into a super PAC. So you're not quite sure, is it coming from people from the tobacco industry? Is it people coming from big sugar? Is it coming from big alcohol? Who knows where that money's actually coming from, but it's coming from this super PAC or this other PAC that Debbie thrives off of. And we know a lot of the time she knows who some of these people are that are giving her the money. Yeah. We may not know.
So she can feign stupidity, ignorance about where money comes from too. Is that true?
Yes. Of course.
That's what happened with the prison lobby, private prison money. Hillary said she got. I didn't know where it came from. I don't know anything about where this money came from.
Super PACs. I didn't know.
Yeah, it's weird how that works.
Mm-hmm.
So she slithered out of there. What happened?
So the best part is some activists that I knew, including Elijah, who you've had on the show, decided to be camped outside for Debbie. They had the banner, which some of the viewers may know about, and if you're on Twitter
give it up. Hey, look, hold on. Give it up for the banner, guys. Have you seen the banner?
And Aaron Bowersock, who is part of the design of that. He's great on Twitter. Also, another powerful progressive in the movement.
Give it up for Elijah Manley and Aaron Bowersock, man. Great people, great activists. Love them both, man. Had the pleasure of meeting Aaron. I missed Elijah when he came to D.C., man, just because of scheduling. He wasn't here that long, and I was working. But he did hit me up like, yo, I'm in D.C. on the White House lawn, man. Come on down to him.
Nice.
No doubt, man.
But the funny thing, I don't know if you know this, is just a quick side note. Elijah and I and a few other people went to see Van Jones speak in Miami. And Elijah got up on there on the mic, and he brought the house down, asking Democrats to confront their own problems, confront people like Debbie Wasserman Schultz who take money from private prisons. And actually, he got the room to kind of, wake up a little, I think. Sadly, when Van Jones got to answering the question, he didn't, focus in on Debbie, but he gave a decent answer to that. And but that was really another cool event we got to go to just recently. And Elijah got to speak out on a big platform.
I just want to step in because I don't want to forget this. I tried to take a note. Some people, Geoff, man, they don't want us working with Democrats or working with independents or anybody. Right. Like they see the evil in it. Like they think every candidate is horrible. But when you have someone like Debbie Wasserman Schultz, for instance, who we can clearly see that Tim Canova on the issues that matter to us, he can make lives in Florida so much better.
Absolutely.
Just at the core of what he's about, just where he takes his money, just what kind of policies he supports. I've had a lot of opportunities to talk to him. I don't know, man. Could you explain to people why, just because someone's not perfect, but particularly on local issues and state issues, these people still, we still got to get involved. We still have to support. If we have our litmus test so tight, so stringent for local candidates, that really hurts local people. That hurts people in Florida. It really it destroys lives. So when I hear that type of rhetoric, I think it's very reckless. I don't agree with it. And I think those people are really not progressive. I'm starting to believe those people are anarchists, and nor do they live in these communities where they're saying you can't support anybody. Like, are your kids getting poisoned? Is your natural resources going away? Are you living in Florida where they're going to be underwater? I mean, you live somewhere else and live a different lifestyle. You're not dealing with these issues. What is your take on it, Geoff? Let me hear you out.
I'm frustrated by it because I see a lot of it. I won't name anybody by their, because everyone can do what they got to do. They've got their own life to live. But I see a lot of it where they attack a candidate like Tim, or I won't go into the specifics because I don't even want to drag anybody. But they're attacking these guys that are really good people, on these small little tiny little things. But as you're saying, the local issues, if you're going to attack them, they will. If you want them to come out on certain issues that you have, that you won't give up on for, within these local areas, they will lose if they do certain things. I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And for instance, I will put a good example for Tim Canova on the Israel situation. I'm a Jewish man living in Miami Beach. There's a large Jewish population. If you were going to come out and how some of the far left do not like the situation in Israel, and I agree on many fronts on that. If you were going to go sit there and make Israel one of the main parts of your platform in Miami or in Florida District 23, it's ridiculous. For one, Israel is not going to be solved by the congressperson from Florida 23 at all. It's just not going to happen. Our government is giving them billions of dollars, either administration, Trump, Obama, whoever it is, they're giving Israel money. So start boycotting and getting mad at America. But I don't understand going after a candidate and wanting him to go out there and start yelling about certain causes that are just going to bring them down in their own district. It doesn't make any sense to me. Obviously, they want a very peaceful, and they believe in a lot of what we are saying. But to make that your main platform in Florida, in South Florida, is insane. And it's not even important because what you're saying, there are real serious issues facing in South Florida that actually affect us here, not over there, like the water being polluted by Big Sugar, which Debbie Wasserman takes hundreds of thousands of dollars from, by private prisons, by her not wanting to make marijuana legal in South Florida because she's taking money from big alcohol. You could go down the list of the things that she's doing that affects the actual communities here. And I would put that on the scale as much more important than causing a ruckus about national, issues when we're literally in a little district, a little enclave in South Florida that is not going to change that issue. And maybe, honestly, if Tim Canova were to be in Congress, he would be pushing that issue further left than Debbie Wasserman Schultz. That's for damn sure. So what, do you want to help Debbie Wasserman win? All these people going crazy and trying to, attack certain people, you're going to just help the other person who you supposedly hate more.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Amen. I think that was a great way to state your piece on it, And look, and I'm not saying you can't support who you want, fine. But I'm talking, I'm just saying, dude, we're burning down the wrong houses. We're burning, and I just think it's time, people gotta me, I'm taking a stand. This is on me. I brought the subject up. I thought it's important to talk about. I'm not going to do a whole video on it unless people want it. People who are my Patreon people, you my VIPs, send me mail, and maybe I'll do a whole video on it. I don't think I want to put too much attention on it if I don't have to, because then the focus comes off the issues and it comes on the personalities. I don't want that. It's not about me. This platform ain't about me. It's about what we talk about. It's about Florida right now. It's about this race. It ain't about me, man. I don't even live in Florida. I don't benefit from this at all, but I care about these issues. So back to you,
Yeah.
Geoff, man. So I don't know.
Well,
Give us more dirt, bro. Give us more dirt.
Well, I don't think that a lot of these. Before I go into the dirt, I would say that a lot of these people don't realize that there is, in these local districts, there is no way that you're going to have the most pure person. But if the candidate is running and they're not taking dark money, they're not taking from super PACs, they're not taking from corporations, why do you need them to just like be the poster boy for some small issue that is important to you somewhere else? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. So I would stick to making sure they don't take big money and corporate
Sounds
money.
a little selfish of them, doesn't it?
Yes, it does sound
a little bit selfish. I'm going to get what I want out of this.
Yeah, especially since some of them live in Seattle and other areas where it's pretty damn progressive. So you got no problems coming your way.
Yeah.
They're not privatizing the water out there.
Yeah, or they live in Boston or whatever. But yeah, so yeah. Right.
Oh no, are we gonna get?
No,
By the way, I love a lot of these accounts. I really just don't. I don't think it's a positive, and it's not going to help the revolution. If they really loved Bernie, if they really were part of waking people up and getting them active and motivated, if they could see the real fight when you go into those Democratic parties, what we really have to deal with, if you're going to be fighting the people that are on our side that aren't taking corporate money, then you're an idiot. That's just it. You're an idiot.
Right. And it's not, look, I'll put myself on here. Like, I just interviewed Ben Jealous. He's running for Maryland governor, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I met him in Chicago.
Yeah. He's up against Larry Hogan, a Republican who pretty much is Trump 2.0. Right, and he won for pretty much the same reasons that Trump did. People were pissed off with the previous Democrat. They didn't think the money was going where it should go. People, jobs, like all the regular issues. You got a big gap in our education we got some of the best schools in Maryland and some of the worst. And all the worst schools are where black kids go for the most part. So like it's a lot of disparity. So a lot of black voters didn't come out. And Anthony Brown, which was a black Democrat, the lieutenant governor of Maryland, he lost. So we end up with Larry Hogan. So now Ben Jealous has pissed a lot of people off because he endorsed Bernie, then he went Hillary, right? And now, so I have him on the show, and here's the thing. In Maryland, Hillary won that shit hands down. It wasn't even close. And people are like, why is Ben like supporting Hillary? Like, dude, if he doesn't do that, we get stuck with Larry Hogan. And I know you may not care, but I live here. And Larry Hogan sucks. I mean, he really sucks. So I know on principle or personalities, and you could be pissed at him for doing that. And by the way, Bernie came down and endorsed him a couple weeks ago. Okay, by the way. And so did Nina Turner, but that don't mean anything because according to some people, everybody's a sellout. No one has a reason for anything they do. It doesn't mean anything. So the point is, my bottom line is, though I don't agree with everything Ben Jealous has done, I understand because I've talked to him and I understand he has a logic. The logic is not like, I'm going to get a whole bunch of money, then I would go buy a yacht, then I'm going to go to Italy. It's like, this is unfortunately the fucked up system that we work within, and this is what I have to do in order to be viable.
Absolutely.
Like, if it was a perfect world, man, like, why you think I endorsed Bernie to begin with? Of course I want that guy. I wanted him.
He stuck his neck out endorsing Bernie, and if you look at the WikiLeaks, any person who's attacking Ben Jealous, go look at the WikiLeaks, search for Ben Jealous and Neera Tanden, and read how she couldn't wait to destroy him for choosing Bernie and how they hated him for picking Bernie. And anyone who's going to stab Ben Jealous in the back to me is a traitor, honestly.
And look, and that's not to cut you off, Geoff. It's same thing. I feel the same way. And look, that's coming from a guy who had Jill Stein on his platform probably more than any other independent news channel on the internet. I had her on several times. Ajamu Baraku several times. Margaret Flowers on a couple times. I could go on and on with Green Party candidates when it wasn't sexy. They were on my channel. Right. I chose them over establishment Democrats. And still, so I'm saying that as a person who supported Jill Stein. I think Jill Stein won that debate, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and we got to keep fighting for what we care about.
Agreed.
All right, so look, it's on me that we brought this subject up, but hell, man, you got me started, Geoff, because you kicking ass over there. So I don't even know where we left off, man. Something about Elijah went. So hold up, I want to know more about Van Jones. Can I find that clip on the air where Elijah talks to Van Jones?
I tweeted his entire question to Van Jones. which got a lot of love. And then I'm pretty sure on Van Jones, I think Van Jones tweeted a link to it. And then on his Facebook, there is a link to the entire event, in which case you do near the end get to see when the question and answer, you will see Elijah's question. And he was great. I mean, even Van Jones was like applauding him. So let me say, like, Elijah is a great speaker.
I love it, man. I love it.
For the age that he's at, to do what he does, great man.
Yeah, wish I was that smart when I was like 18, man. That damn guy.
Yeah. Me too.
I'm telling you.
Or that I cared as much as he does.
Yeah, aware. Yeah, there you go. We would have cared if we were aware. You
Right.
know, like you got to know what's going on. I don't even remember what I was doing at 18. It sure as hell wasn't politics.
I was voting for Gore.
Okay. Hey, you know, I mean, what was the options? Gore
or Bush.
Nader, right?
Or Nader.
Probably didn't
then,
know much about Nader at that point.
I didn't either. I didn't. And I didn't. What I did know, I didn't mind, but I just wasn't so political. I was 18 years old, just out of high school, so I wasn't as politically active. I wish I had been.
And we didn't really have the benefit of the internet.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
there wasn't
internet.
Twitter.
Yeah.
There was no Twitter to bring us that set up to the second info. And I think AOL was probably going, but yeah, it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
There was no Facebook.
Yeah, there was no internet because Al Gore had just invented it.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, look, you tell me, man. So wherever you want to go with this, I'm all ears, man.
I will bring up another. Well, one. I'll start with this first. I just found in the WikiLeaks this week that Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So we had seen that the Sun Sentinel, which is the main newspaper of Debbie Wasserman Schultz's like district, we've seen them basically being an arm of propaganda for Debbie Wasserman Schultz ever since the Imran Awan case broke, where her IT guy was arrested trying to leave the country. Some people say flee. Some people will say he wasn't fleeing. It seems like a flee to me. The guy's like sending cash out. Regardless, I won't even go into the full details of that case. But yeah, so the Sun Sentinel's been covering up for Debbie, putting the non-case against Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Debbie Wasserman Schultz was worried about racism, so she couldn't fire him. Just doing all they can possibly do to cover up and not just report on the facts. I mean, they're trying to almost make the facts of the case seem like hearsay, and then the hearsay seem like facts. So I talked to a few people, and we decided to dig on the Sun Sentinel and Debbie Wasserman Schultz relationship. So we looked in WikiLeaks, and I found a correspondence between Howard Saltz, who is the editor-in-chief of the Sun Sentinel, and Debbie Wasserman Schultz. This was in the DNC leaks, not the Podesta emails.
Oops.
And yeah, I don't think they thought we'd be looking for this, Howard and the Sun Sentinel. So we went digging, and we see a little correspondence where Howard and Debbie want to meet, and they want to introduce Debbie to a bunch of other people in the industry, from the Chicago Tribune, the LA Times, and then the list goes on. I posted the names. It's just a bunch of people in media, and they wanted to brief. Debbie was going to brief them. What she's briefing them on is all our guess. But it just shows, again, the close-knit relationship. She's meeting with them and other big donors. By the way, if you look at the list, it's not just publishers. It's people that own major liquor companies. I'm not quite sure. I think it's other telecom, either TV or movie. A whole list of people. I think even Michelle Obama's Secretary of State, someone random that worked for Michelle Obama was involved in that. It was a whole list of people that Debbie Wasserman Schultz is meeting with, especially in the press. And so now it's, we all knew it, but now we're starting to actually follow and connect the dots on this. They obviously have a pretty damn cozy relationship with the press. So it starts getting pretty murky when your Congress people and the people that run multimedia. In fact, this isn't just the Sun Sentinel. This is like the people that own the Sun Sentinel own a bunch of papers all across the country. And so guess what? Those papers, when Debbie Wasserman Schultz is getting called out for having to step down way back then from the DNC, they're not reporting much on that. When Debbie Wasserman Schultz an IT guy gets caught fleeing the country, are those papers, talking about it? Probably not. In fact, they're not. And I'm pretty sure we don't have to be geniuses to figure out why that's happening. When she's having secret meetings, the same way we found out in the WikiLeaks that Hillary Clinton's campaign met with every single major media person from ABC, NBC, the list goes on right before her campaign started. A similar type of thing going on. And it's just sad that this is what gives Trump the ability to call it fake news. I mean, it's fake news when you have an agenda being pushed by your politicians into the media. That's fake news.
Absolutely, man. You look at Debbie Wasserman Schultz. It sounds very familiar, man. She learns well, man. She is Hillary 2.0. Well, I won't say that because I don't think she's lived up to the level.
She's not as good as Hillary.
Yeah, like
she was shook last night. You should have seen her twitching, touching her jacket. I hope she's watching. We know your tell when you're lying. Keep touching your jacket like this. Keeps pulling at her jacket.
Trying to keep the horns
the
down.
Lies.
Like trying to keep the horns from showing. Oh,
no, the lies. She's trying to keep the lies in.
Keep the lies down, pushing the lies down. Man, I don't know, man. I just think that at the end of the day with this, the media, we have to take the media to task. That's one of the things about Trump. Like, I don't like Trump, man, but sometimes he calls it outright. And that's the problem when I gotta criticize him because he does so much crap I detest and I think is wrong. But like, what other politicians are calling out the media who are in bed with politicians that just so happen to be neoliberals? No
exactly.
one. We got no one doing that. Like Bernie called out a lot of stuff. He didn't call out the media. He called out the cronyism. He called out the oligarchy. He called out, the power structure, corporations. Like he called out Carrier, who still sent them damn jobs over there. But like, we need somebody to call out mass media, corporate media, man, because that is just horrible. Like that defeats the whole purpose of having media. Like they're supposed to be our watchdogs, Geoff.
Exactly. And there's a specific Tony Mann, it's at Broward Politics. I would love for everybody to everybody, if you're watching, I don't even want you to give this guy a follow, but you need to see this guy. I wouldn't be shocked if he's being paid by Debbie Wasserman Schultz on the side. I mean, he doesn't even need to be because we're slowly learning the little relationship between Debbie and the Broward and the Sun Sentinel, which he works for. But every single article, every single tweet he has, his tweets, Debbie Wasserman Schultz has a guy who worked for her who's trying to flee the country and is arrested. And he's been indicted 4 times, 4 indictments. And instead of making that the main headline of his tweets, he's saying Tim Canova sends out fundraising email because Debbie Wasserman Schultz is the guy, whoever's indicted. How about the story about the indictment and the guy who could possibly have been giving, weakening our national security? Like, we have to talk about Tim Canova's email? It's insane. I mean, this guy, Anthony Mann, who's interviewed me and not used any of the interviews, probably just getting information on me for Debbie and her people. This guy is just, it's sad. I don't even want to, I don't know if he's doing it for the connection to her because his bosses are telling him to do it, all of the above. But he is a very sad individual who is helping Debbie Wasserman Schultz by being basically propaganda in a newspaper that goes to so many people in her district, people with jobs, lives that are being hurt by all the issues that we're fighting for. So they don't have time to look past the Sun Sentinel, most of them. They wake up in the morning, the Sun Sentinel's sitting there, they read it, they go to their job because they have a family that they care about and they're trying to, make it every day. I'm not blaming them. I mean, not every person has time to read, to watch your show, watch Twitter or watch other social media. They don't have time. They see the Sun Sentinel, they trust it, and they read, Tony Mann's bullshit article where he's, saying the non-case against Debbie Wasserman Schultz or, just talking only about, crazy conspiracy theories and trying to push them on Tim Canova when, I don't care what Tim Canova said about some conspiracy theory. We have a person who's taking money from private prisons. We've got a person who's helping payday loans, corporations, right? We have a person taking big sugar money and claiming they're a liberal Democrat and a progressive. On on her site, if you go there, it says she's a fighting progressive. She's a fucking bullshit artist.
God. I'll give it up for that, man. Jeez.
Rant, sorry.
No.
It's just insane.
No. I mean, I wanted to jump in at each thing you said, every point, and just go facts. Like, those are facts. Everything you said was facts. Like, you may not like them, but they are facts. It's almost September. Fact. You can't disagree with the fact. Oh man, Tony Mann, guys, go find out about Tony Mann. I did a
Broward
video.
Politics.
Broward
At Broward Politics. He's fake news. That's fake news. And I hate that term. And I hate that Trump is given that term, because now anybody can just say everything's fake news, but there is actual fake news. Yeah. And this is fake.
They are using it very broadly, man. Yeah, I have seen that. And that's another thing, Geoff, that I'm seeing people fall into. Like, yeah, man, Trump stood up for some stuff, and he backpedaled on a lot of stuff he stood up for. So let's keep it real. And also, guys, I see some people slipping a little bit into too much of, fight him, Trump. It's like, okay, yeah, he's fighting, but he's doing some stuff he shouldn't be doing. So, like, a little coverage of that, I'm trying to cover more of it. Because, dude, at the end of the day, man, the Democrats are pretty, like, as a party, not every individual Democrat, but as a party, they really don't have that much weight right now. So you gotta cover the fact that Trump's like, what he's doing is like this whole Charlottesville thing, everything, all this stuff, all these RPO or RAPO, whatever the hell his name is, pardon that guy. I was like, I got to cover that. I have to cover it. And because it's the truth. We got to get the facts out there.
Oh, the truth with Trump is, yes, he's funny. It's funny sometimes until it's affecting thousands and millions of lives. Like when he stares into the sun.
Hold on. What the hell was that about, man? What is he trying to prove? I don't know, man. I saw that, man. I just busted out laughing. I laughed my ass off. I didn't LOL. I laughed my ass off on that one. I'm like, this guy, and I understand, Geoff, that his family and Ivanka and Melania all tried to get him not to do it. Like, don't do it. Because, like, there was ahead of time, he was like, I'm going to take my glasses off. I'm going to look into the sun. What could happen to me? And they were like, no, don't do it. And he did it anyway. And he's like, So
he was trolling the sun.
He's trolling the sun.
The eclipse.
It's what I think it is like people, though woke people see how hard the media is gunning for him, like mainstream media. So it's a reflexive thing, like not wanting to participate in that shit, because we do see what's going on. We're like, God, like he's doing some stuff. He's doing the same stuff Obama did. No one said shit. So we see the impropriety. I understand that part, guys. Like, I get you, but like I can't let the guy skate on the fact he's being like, witch hunted. He's giving them stuff to hunt him for too. I gotta acknowledge the fact that he's giving them ammunition. He's giving it to him like, here you go. Hit me on this. He actually tweeted, Geoff, and I know this is off topic, but I saw a tweet where he said, I looked into everything about Afghanistan. Like, I read everything on Afghanistan. I totally understand Afghanistan, and I made my decision. I'm like, come on, guys, you have to know Trump did not look at everything about Afghanistan. Like, no. Come on. Yeah. No. 2013, Geoff, he said, we should get the hell out of Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. That's the tweet he sent when he wasn't in power. He talked all this crap. We need to get out of it. And now all of a sudden, he's sending more troops. And that's not a good thing. So anyway.
Also in 2015, he said that Django Unchained was the most racist film he ever saw.
Yeah.
I guess he also was cheering for the Nazis in Inglourious Bastards. I don't know what.
Yeah.
But I think Donald Trump is a circus act to distract all of us. I think Donald Trump, the big issue that's going on with Donald Trump and the Republicans is it's honestly a fight between Donald Trump and the Koch brothers. I'm pretty sure the real truth and all the distractions, there's so many distractions going on that it's hard to keep up if you're just, if you're not woke to the situations. Donald Trump is not a Republican. He's a misfit. I don't know what he is. He might be Bruce Wayne for all we know. We don't know what's going on here. He might be the hero we needed to wake everybody up. I don't know what's going on, but Donald Trump is definitely at odds with the Koch brothers. I would guess that Pence and the Koch brothers are aligned, and that's another fight that's going on behind the scenes. And their little faction, while they like to make it look like the left is all fighting each other and the Democrats are fighting, secretly behind the scenes, I'm pretty sure that the Republicans are also fighting. And yeah, I think it's all a big distraction. I think Donald Trump knows what he's doing. He's calculated. He's a showman. He's doing all these certain things, and they all have purpose. I don't necessarily have time to try to focus on all of them because I'm fighting our war. I mean, I'm literally fighting the war on this side, so we actually have a chance of being functional. I don't care. I'm not against any party affiliate. It's about what you stand for, what money you're taking. I mean, I saw the Al Gore movie. There's a guy in Texas, a Republican, who's got his entire town on renewable energy, and that's a Republican. So I mean, I don't care. I don't care what your party is. I care about what you're fighting for. If you're fighting for humanity, I'll be with you. And I don't give a crap about these distractions, and I don't care about the Koch brothers and Donald Trump's little war between billionaires fighting each other. I mean, that's what that is. It's Donald Trump is, as much as he is, not the normal establishment a-hole. He is a billionaire who is doing this for his name, himself, and he's fighting with other billionaires. So all the people that are, starting to think, Donald Trump. No, he's fighting with other billionaires. That's what this is. And some of those billionaires are not Hillary Clinton, but some, her and Bill, they're in the 100 mils. It doesn't matter. It's the oligarchy. It's rich families trying to gain power over other rich families, while the 90% or the 99% of us struggle on the ground. And all this other crap it is entertaining at times, but it is a distraction. And that's why I say we got to stay focused. And I don't think we should be fighting with each other over stupid, petty crap. We need to stay focused and stick to the issues like Bernie Sanders and other people do. We stick to the issues. Look at that platform. Go down the people's platform. If the politician is following that guide, I'm sticking with them. That's how I look at it. I don't care what letter is next to their name. Absolutely, man. Give it up for that, man. Hey, man, you might want to go ahead and start did you guys start that YouTube channel yet? No. Well, Elijah is starting. He's starting his own news. I think it's going to be blogs. And then I actually have been talking with a few people. We are going to do maybe a monthly or bi-weekly discussion on South Florida politics, which that type of focus, that focus on your locality, on, local politics, I think that's invaluable. Sometimes I wish I did that instead of kind of going broad, because I could be a real player in Maryland and help move votes to candidates I really like if I would have more focus. So there's always a possibility to kind of pivot back. But yeah, man, that's a good tack to take, man, as far, what, one last thing I have on Trump, and of course you can answer if you want. I believe that Trump is just a showman. This guy, dude, he was grabbing headlines so the gosh, what's the five? The New York, the five black and Latino men. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Brooklyn. I know I'm getting the name mixed up, but those 5 young men who Trump said, he says these people should die, takes out an ad page about these 5 men who are accused of rape. Turns out they didn't do it. DNA evidence exonerates them. He doesn't backtrack on it because he's Trump. Right. And I know somebody in the chat room, someone in the chat room, I know they got it. When I looked at this story again for who's in there? Anybody got that? What is that? We got such a delay. But someone knows it, and I feel bad that I'm not getting it. But here's the point. Trump just saw an opportunity to grab a news cycle. I think Trump said, the Central Park 5 is the name of it. That's it. So Trump probably saw an opportunity to grab a news cycle to
to manipulate the media, and he took it, and he didn't care about the ramifications, what it's going to mean for him, as far as people call him racist or an asshole or whatever. I don't think Trump cares about that much. He's like from the P.T. Barnum era, where any publicity is where you need to be,
yes.
and you got to understand that for business. So I think he sort of he just used that, and it's a winning formula, and he ends up being president using that, and now he's continuing to use it. I don't think he was manipulated on Charleston, for instance. This is just my theory. I feel like he's just so used reflexively for manipulating the media. When you go this way, you get these people riled up. You go this way, you get these people riled up. Then you go this way. Now people are riled up, and we don't even know what the hell is going on behind this guy because he's so slick. He understands. Like, he's been doing this for 40, at least 40-something years of manipulating the media. I mean, he's just a business guy, guys. How was he in the news and on all these programs all these years? You know how many millionaires, at the time he wasn't a billionaire, you know how many millionaires there are out there? Why was Trump known? Why did people know Trump? There's a guy right now with 5 dealerships, probably, I don't know, in San Diego somewhere. No one knows who the hell he is, and he's a millionaire. He's a multimillionaire. He's quiet. You don't know his name. But Trump, why did people know him? Why have we known him for 30 years? Because he knows how to manipulate the media. The media
Brandy.
created Trump, not just in this 2016 election, not just with the birther stuff. They created Trump back in the 80s. Give it up for that. Gotta give myself an applause. So I went on a tangent, but I had to get that out, man. Just things I was thinking, Geoff.
Well, I mean, my opinion on that is that, honestly, I would say that the media is one of the most evil and one of the biggest problems that we have facing politics. But I would then go even further, that the people behind the media, which are these billionaires, millionaires, and corporations that own the media. So it's like, yeah, it all comes into where follow the money. And yeah, he's been able to manipulate the media like perfectly, like an orchestra. Like, he's just a maestro back there. And they're just following the stories, and they don't care.
You know, he is good, man. He's good at that, man. Geoff, man, damn it, dude. I don't even know where else to go, man. I feel like I pulled you away from Florida so much. I feel bad, actually.
I will say this about Florida. Tim Canova is running against Debbie Wasserman Schultz.
Oh, yeah, that's right, guys. Vote for Tim Canova. My bad.
And go to timcanova.com. Go to timcanova.com.
Absolutely.
You know, if you can give $2.70, $27, $17, whatever you can give, whatever it is, you know, it is going to help. We need to get more of the message on the ground. We need to make videos. We need to make commercials as far as we can get out ahead of this person who's got a lot of, as we said earlier, dark money, super PACs, corporations funding her, big liquor, big sugar, you know, anti-marijuana PACs, every horrible thing, honestly, you could think of is funding Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So we need to get behind Tim Canova. We need to get somebody who's actually going to fight for the people into Congress. And if you have a little problem with like one little issue he's doing, go take a look at Debbie Wasserman and what she's doing down the line. And if you're going to attack Tim Canova, or you're going to say, oh, we need to find somebody else, you've got no time. You've got nothing. We need to work with somebody who is a fighter, a smart, educated college professor who cares about human beings. That is what we need to do. We need to get behind that. And Debbie Wasserman Schultz is not going to help anybody in South Florida. That's for sure. She's going to help herself, her donors, and that's it. And the party line. That's it.
Yeah, just one last thing on the Israel thing. You know, when Tim Canova, like, there's certain questions I don't ask when I don't want to hurt a politician. Right, because I know what they do. So let's say on Israel with Tim Canova, you already know he is more flexible and more probably supportive in certain ways, okay? Just based on getting a sense for things he said, maybe somewhere you heard or whatever. Once he says something that's beneficial, right, they'll take it and manipulate it and run that shit 24/7. They'll soundbite him in that comment. So you feel good. Yeah, he stood up against this. And then they kill him with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing people don't get. And I know it's like, it's not something you think about because you just want that. You want to hear him say the words that you're thinking. You want to hear him take the stand. He takes the stand. They use it against him. He fucking loses. He loses due to it. And then you're still stuck with the person whose politics you don't like. So I know I don't think people do this because they have negative intentions. In fact, I think it's the opposite. I think they have good intentions sometimes, or most of the time. 90% of the time people have good intentions. I just think they're not looking at it like, okay, when you do that, now what's the game plan on the other side? And as a politician, you always got to be thinking about, what are they going to use against me? What are they going to do? And you know they only got a couple sweet spots. I mean, someone like Debbie Wasserman, who's got the fracking, the private prison money, the predatory lending, like all the dark money, the environment, everything that she is about, okay? Big Sugar, all of it. She's only got a couple of seams that she can hit Tim Canova on. Like, she can't, you can't be going to a guy who, I don't know, who once upon a time he may have accidentally picked up $1 off the street that wasn't his and chastise him for it. Meanwhile, you're pushing old ladies down steps, and there's no equivalent. So you got to find something that's a wedge issue that you can use against them that will resonate with your constituents to get out the vote. So these are the types of things that I wasn't aware of at all when I got into covering politics. I was like, let me ask him everything. Let me get you on the line. And I never was thinking. I wasn't thinking like, oh damn, they're going to use what I just said. They're going to use this guy's statements against him to destroy the guy who's like 90% better than this other person on everything. And I don't know. I just want people to know I'm not beating up on you. I don't think Geoff is either. Those who do it with a clear heart, with a warm heart, with well intentions, I don't think we're beating up on you. We're just letting other people know how this shit works. And it is how it works, man. It's dirty. You hear people say dirty politics. Yeah, because it's dirty, man. It's
dirty. Like, honestly, what you're saying is so what Debbie Wasserman Schultz wants is for Tim Canova to say any little thing that then the Sun Sentinel and Anthony Mann at Broward Politics can then take one word, maybe two words, and then spin that into some crazy negative crap that he can put on the front page of the Sun Sentinel and then land on every single front on the doorstep of every single person in Florida's District 23. So while these people on Twitter that live in California or wherever the hell they're living that have no clue about what we're dealing with want to cry and scream and make a huge issue over something, they're actually just playing right in the hands of Debbie Wasserman Schultz. So they might as well work for her. And they might as well call themselves an establishment Democrat.
That's the fire.
Honestly.
That's the fire, see what I'm saying? And that's the fire I love it, Geoff, man. Because Geoff knows, man, like he's a true activist. He's really involved, man. He knows what's at stake. And sometimes we don't know what's at stake, and we don't know the terrain. We don't know what's going on.
And I'll say one more thing, which I think I've said before on the show. Everybody hates the Dem enter, and they love the Dem exit. Let me just tell you something. I've said it, and I will keep saying it. Enter. Because they don't want us to enter. They want us to exit. They want you out of the party, not having your voice heard, not speaking up, not showing up at a Debbie Wasserman, Pembroke Pines bullcrap Democratic meeting. Honestly, it's a bunch of people just going like this, whatever she says. They don't want you showing up and saying, guess what? This is bullshit. Guys, wake up. She's lying to you and she's hurting you. She's hurting your family. She's hurting my family. This is all lies. She doesn't want that. They don't want that. They want you to exit and start complaining on Twitter, complaining on Facebook, where they can say that you're the fringe or claim we're the alt left, like they love to do. They want you to exit and act like a crazy person. They don't want you to engage like a human being and come up and ask a normal question, which they can't even answer. They can't answer human questions. If you, look at this. Look what happened last night. This is a guy who's lived in Broward, who's been a constituent, who admitted that he voted for Debbie every single election until he voted for Tim Canova. He said he's given money to Debbie for years until he learned about Tim Canova. So he said, look, Debbie, I respect you. I used to vote for you. Can I ask one question? No.
Nah. Talk to the hand. Talk to the hand.
To the hand.
It is horrible, man. So
Enter.
Jeff, man. So what's going on? How do people get involved? How do people help us flip this? Like we gotta win back Congress and the Senate. We gotta win back these districts, one candidate at a time, bro.
Yes.
So how do people get involved with the campaign?
Find your local progressive caucus. Find your local Democratic club. Even if you hate every single person in it, be the radical, be the lunatic, be the person who's actually, they say the crazy people are usually the smartest. Be the person in there speaking the truth. Because I know that a lot of states don't have a strong progressive network. Not everybody's Seattle, not everybody's California, not everybody's New York or whatever it is, the case may be, Brooklyn. Get out there, make your own club, make your own progressive club. Find other progressives near you, even if there's 10 people in the room. Who knows, maybe in a few weeks, in a few months, there'll be 50, 60, 100. Get involved, go to these meetings. Look up where your politicians are. If you really are angry at politicians and you think they're screwing you over, find out where they're going to be speaking and go. That's what we do. We go. We see Debbie's going to be speaking, we show up and we try to ask a question. We're not crazy, we're not violent, we're peaceful, we just want answers. We're paying these people. We're paying their bills. We're paying congressmen, senators, presidents, whoever they are. We are paying them. They better listen to us if we're going to be peaceful and we just want answers. They better actually answer our questions. So go, be involved, start a club, find your progressive caucus, find your Democratic, enter, and annoy the hell out of them until they realize that you're right, because you are right. You are. I mean, you aren't fighting for corporations. You're fighting for people. And that's my message. I'd say do whatever you can and show up, ask questions. Always ask questions.
I love it, man. I got I got your back, man. I totally support your activism. I know what's coming from. I know why you're in it. I see you getting heat on Twitter when I notice, because like I'm usually on my phone. Sometimes I misspell stuff. I'm like trying to and I'm like trying to jump in and retweet stuff and just show my support, man, because like I said, man, you know when someone's genuine and they know the issues. That's why I wanted you on. I didn't want to, like, I'm going to do a video when I got the guy that was there. Like, why I'm going to try to muddle my way through this? Nah, I'll just bring him on if I can.
Yeah, we'll talk. We can talk.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, and that's the thing, man. So, like, shout out to everybody in Florida, all the people out there fighting, all the grassroots people, Elijah Manley, Aaron Bowerstock, of course, Tim Canova, my brother, also Peter Hager, man. He hits
Peter
me
Hager.
Up. Yeah, he's a real supportive of my channel, and he gives me tips on what's going on in Florida, kind of keeping me up to speed on what's happening. Because you're right. It's local politics.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to stay focused when there's so much going on every day. There's a new Trump crazy headline, which they want. He wants it. He even wants it. Or there's some crazy Democratic story, or they're attacking Bernie, or they're doing something that we're always distracted. So you got to stay focused on your local politics. I'm staying focused on mine and trying to stay nationally. I think every single person should at least stick one foot inside their local politics and see, because that's honestly where the biggest corruption happens, because nobody's checking them. Yeah. Nobody has time to go to these local meetings where there's like 100 or less people. They don't care. But that's where these crazy decisions get made, where, you're getting delegates sent, and where that's how Bernie lost. I mean, nobody was in these meetings. If we had people in those meetings for years, possibly we would have had the right delegates. We wouldn't have had the super delegate situation. There's all these situations that have been building up over time that we have an opportunity to get in there and actually crack back at that.
Absolutely, man. In fact, I want to challenge everyone out there. If you care about politics enough to pay attention to it, well, you know what? Go get involved locally in some way.
And we'll be happy to have you.
Yeah, join a group. And it's not like you're going to do it every day. They probably meet. How often do groups meet, Geoff?
Well, ours meet, we have one meeting a month. And then we sometimes have events, a lot of the people that get close by being a part of the membership, we just, we go and hang out on the weekend. We go to a bar together, or we go have lunch together, or we do whatever, we just, chill, hang out, and you'll meet amazing. I mean, over the past year and a half, I've met some of the best friends I can ever imagine happening, just because of Bernie, because of Tim, and because of waking up to the truth of politics. So, Twitter alone, I've met so many people, amazing people out there. So I could give 1,000 shout outs. Wooby Tuesday, definitely check her out.
Yeah.
Love her. I mean, the list could go on. I can't even go into it. But
I hate that when you start naming people, you feel bad because you leave people out. You
Yeah.
know, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I know Whoopi, she's really cool, and she's real supportive, and she speaks truth. And I love the stuff she retweets. And like someone asked me today, because it was like something happened in New York, right? Like there was a settlement, like 1,000 arrests that were illegal arrests or something. It wasn't 1,000, maybe it was 100,000. It was 800,000. I don't know. It was a large number of arrests in New York that were illegal or something crazy. And Van Dyke Johnson, I think is his name, he sent it to me. He's like, Tim, dude, how do we not know about this? And I'm like, dude, I wouldn't know if it wasn't for you telling me right now. Like, you know, like seriously. So we inform each other. We keep each other on point. And that's why, man, it's so great to have a network of people, man. But look, guys, go find Geoff. Tell them your, I always get your email wrong there. Tell them what your.
Well, it's at Geoff Miami or just Miami Gator. If you look up Miami Gator, usually on Twitter, it's probably the first. Mine will be the first one that'll pop up, but at Geoff Miami also. Also, if you can, go to timcanova.com. I would think about how amazing the celebration would be if we get Debbie Wasserman Schultz out of Congress.
Hell yeah.
This human being did everything she could to hurt progressives. She scheduled 4 debates. And Obama and Hillary had like 22 or something, some crazy number. 4? Right. On weekends during Sunday Night Football. I mean, I won't even go into it, but there's a million things that you could go down the line. This person needs to go.
Hey, the fact that Obama got so many debates and Hillary was Hillary, that kind of lets you know that he was already kind of establishment before he went in, huh? If you think about it.
He was taking that Citibank money. So.
You think about it. How the hell he get so many debates, man? How'd that happen? I didn't even know. So now there's something to look at. Like, oh, man, this person's really getting a lot of love. Something must be going on because they don't want the outsider. They don't want the true change agent getting any momentum. You saw what they did to Bernie Sanders. You see what Debbie Wasserman Schultz did to Tim Canova. She only agreed to one debate on a Sunday morning. Like
And she's not agreeing now. Last night, somebody asked her offside on the side after she gave her Q&A, and they said, "Will you, debate Tim Canova this time? More than once?" She's like, "That was enough," or she basically gave some kind of answer that she debated him, and that's enough. So let's see. I would say right now, if you don't debate your opponent, you're a coward. Yeah. If you don't debate your opponent, then what do you even stand for? I'd debate Debbie right now any minute if she wants. I mean, come on. Yeah. She should step up and at least tell everybody what she stands for. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
It reminds me of Hillary because, like, Hillary, wherever she started at, she only dropped. Mm-hmm. So, like, she didn't go to Wisconsin, not because she thought she was too good. She just knew if she went there and started talking, it would get worse. That's why she didn't go to Michigan, because if she start talking, she's going to lose by more. Like, she's one of those candidates, and I got a feeling Debbie might be the same way. If she starts talking, the more she talks. Like, she only held that. Now, that event that she spoke at yesterday, what was that called?
It was a Pembroke Pines Democratic Club meeting. Club meeting,
okay. Because I'm just wondering why she even, like, it must have been a real, like, we got to put out this fire. You got to go out. You got to go. And I know she's like, I don't want to go out.
I have some insight. I think what really happened was that she made a deal with this club because the guy, the president or whatever he is, the board member of the club, when he got up there, he was like, I've been waiting so long to get the congresswoman in here. Now we're officially a club. And so, like, I'm pretty sure she probably made some agreement way back, that she would definitely do this, and then it would have looked so weird for her to back out. And by the way, let me add an extra little point to the story. There were cops. There was like a cop per person. There were cops out front. There were cops inside. There were cops across the street. Then when my friends were outside with their banner, the cops came over. I walked up as the cops were coming over. They were very friendly, and they said they respected our First Amendment rights, but they said next time we should get a permit. But there was just so many cops. There's cops everywhere. So she was ready. She knew. She's scared. She didn't probably want to make that appearance, but in case anything came her way, she had like a fortress ready to block out anything.
Well, look, man, thank you, Geoff, so much for coming in here and sharing your information, your knowledge, your expertise, and what's going on there on the ground in Florida. And I know you'll be back again, bro. We got a lot of time. That's what I love about this. We got a lot of time before the election, man. So we can just keep beating that drum, bro.
Yeah.
Keep making
exactly.
that noise. I appreciate you guys. Go find at Miami Gator on Twitter, man. He's also, you on Facebook. You anywhere else besides Twitter?
I'm on Facebook. You can find me. I don't know if it's gonna have a limit or whatever. My name, Geoff Campbell.
Okay.
You can find it, but
All right. It's all good. It's all good, man. Just make sure.
my activism is Twitter, and then I've got my local activism more on Facebook. If you're local, find me on Facebook. You'll definitely be able to find me, and I'd be happy to hook you up and get you involved. And believe me, I'll be watching for those moles they drop, and I'll be able to tell. I will be able to, and they do. So.
Shout out to Florida. Shout out to Tim Canova, guys. I'll see you tomorrow where it's Freedom Friday. Call up. Anybody call up. Get your 5 minutes. Talk to people. Let them know what's on your mind. I love you guys. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. I'll see you next time. Peace. That's it. My brother. Great
stuff.
Great job, my man. Great job. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
You got
Good
it,
stuff.
brother. You know it.
Sweet.
IamTimBlack.com. Tim Black.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. I appreciate it. It's always great when Geoff stops by, man. We really vibe off each other. We have a good conversation. It flows where it flows. And gosh, guys, I just got to tell you, man, that Debbie Wasserman Schultz, I think she's on the ropes, man. I'm not just saying that just to say it. All right, guys, we got a couple new T-shirts in the T-shirt store. This show is brought to you by TimBlackTV.com, and we do need your support. We've been featured in the Boston Globe. They highlighted the issue that's going on with my YouTube monetization, and it is a reality. They're trying to shut up independent media. It's what they're doing. It's not hyperbole. It's what's going on. So do it for the platform, not for me. You know, it's not a personal thing. It's about what we do together. It's about bringing on great voices that you're not going to get on TV. And I wanted to keep going. I wanted to last. I wanted to grow. So go to the description box below. Find my link to Patreon if you can do a monthly thing. And if you can't, do a one-time thing. Or pick up one of these crazy shirts like the one here. And shout out to Momo Pineno. Shout out to my man Iron Man Oz. I love you guys. Everybody on Facebook, Michael Stapleton, Jennifer Vickers, Torsha Childs. I'm just running through names in my head. All my people on Periscope who tune in, please subscribe and share. Subscribe and share. YouTube, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Facebook, I love you. Periscope, I'll see you. And with that, we are out.